Meditations with Marini. So I promised you guys something, and there's a couple of things that I want to correct myself on. I want to correct myself on making promises that I can't keep, because I am typically a woman of my word, and I don't like to promise things that I'm not going to follow through on. Excuse me. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys, if you got that sneeze. Okay, so I was saying this, the only thing about being live and you're moving around is that it's going to buffer. So I don't know, once I go back and I listen to the video, if I see that anything was missed, I will come back and probably do a solid video or a sitting video tonight to correct that. But anyway, I want to say thank you guys for joining, and thank you for your continued support to my channel. I would like to, because I promised that I was going to do a video in reference to the IRS Fresh Start program, I want to at least give a few key pointers about that program. And the reason that I wanted to give it now is because today is April the 4th. Today is Saturday, April the 4th. And the program, I think you have until the 15th to apply for it. And I want to first say that I am not a tax advisor. I want to make sure that I'm clear on that. This is not advice. This is just information. Information for somebody that is possibly paying back taxes or possibly may owe taxes this year, and you have the opportunity to possibly have those taxes forgiven and no longer have to make payments. And some people may even possibly qualify for a refund depending on how you write your, it's called an offer of compromise. Offer of compromise. And I don't have all of the details in front of me, because when I originally was going to do this video, I was going to be sitting in front of my computer so that I could have gone to the page and actually giving you guys the information. But I decided to clean my house this morning, and you know, once I start in one room, it's like, okay, well, I'll just move on over here. Okay, well, I'll just move on over here. And being in school, guys, there are so many things that you kind of let go that you don't realize they're going, and you have a certain standard that you like to live by. So I love it when I have a Saturday that my son didn't have a game, I didn't have somewhere to be for a meeting, and so I was able to really just enjoy my home today. But I still wanted to keep my promise to you all to come on and do this video. And so the program is called A Fresh Start, and basically you go onto the IRS website, irs.gov, and when you go onto their website, there is an area where you can look for the Fresh Start program. You click on that button, and there's a small survey that you have to do that asks you some questions. Have you done this? Have you did that? Do you do this? And once you answer those questions, it will tell you whether or not you qualify to submit the documents for the program. So one of the things that I will tell you, now you can get a tax advisor to do this for you, and there is a fee. A lot of them charge about $1,000 to even start the process. That depends on how many years that they're going to have to do taxes for you. Some of you may, if you have not filed taxes in years, you will have to file whatever taxes that you have out there. So you will have to file your 2025 tax records in order to even qualify for this program. And the reason that I know of this program, going back to my channel and things about relationships and things of that sort, I have never owed taxes. I have never owed the IRS. I always pay, you know, but a year or so ago, they sent me a notification stating that during the time that I was married, now you guys know that I'm divorced, but during the time that I was married, my now ex-husband made some money and he did not pay taxes on it, or he didn't, I think it was during the COVID time, and he received some of that money that they got through the COVID relief and things like that. Well, those funds you had to pay taxes on. And so many people, now that the IRS is catching up, they are going back and they're recalculating those taxes. And though I did not owe at that time, they took my income taxes last year. They took my income taxes because I was married to him at that time. And so anything that is associated to my social security number is now going to be flagged until they get that money. So there are two things that I had to do. I had to file, I think it's an injured spouse, or there are two forms that you can do. It's an injured spouse, and the other one is sort of like I don't know the exact name of the form, because remember, I'm not a tax expert. But there's another one where it's like an unknowledgeable spouse. Basically, I did not know of these funds, and so I had to redo my taxes to accommodate for what it was that he needed in order to make sure that they did not charge me for that time period. With that being said, they still kept my funds because it was not only federal taxes that he owed, he ended up owing state as well. And with that, what they basically did last year is they took my federal income and they sent it to the state. So I'm having to do the offering compromise for both. I'm having to do it for the for the IRS, and I'm having to do it for the state as well. And the reason that I'm doing it is because my refund was a significant amount, and based on even what I'm going to get this year, they're going to take it if I don't do these documents. And I just felt like it was knowledge that would be helpful to other people to know. The good thing is my tax advisor said that in the cases that she has worked on over the past few months, she has seen where not only did they forgive the taxes that were owed, but she saw that some of her clients actually received refunds for what they had already paid. And because I had done most of the homework, she was like, you could pay me to do it, but I can kind of just walk you through it. You've been with me long enough that, we have a relationship that's strong enough for me to help you through this process. And I believe in sharing knowledge. I'm one of those people that I don't believe in keeping knowledge to myself. And so, and guys, if you're putting comments out there, I do see some people pinging, but if you're putting comments, I just don't have the ability to answer you right now. And I've learned that somehow I got to figure out how to go back and see my comments after the live is over, because for some reason it does not allow me to see the comments to go in and respond to people after the live is completed. But I wanted to make sure that I shared that knowledge with you all. It's called the Fresh Start Program. And if you are currently paying back taxes, you are going to finish the survey that they have, and then you are going to submit. And when you do submit it, like, you want to submit as much information as you can. So prime example, many of you know that I changed careers last year, and I had a $20,000 pay decrease. So salary that I once had when they had me on a payment plan at that time. And so once you do that, then you can show proof. Like, I can show my new paychecks, and I can show my expenses, because my expenses didn't change just because I took a pay cut. It's just that I manage my funds well enough that I'm able to maneuver what needs to be done. So you want to use all the resources that you can. If you had an expense that took place, if you had an increase in your car insurance, you had an increase in your health insurance, if things are costing you more, you can show how you're spending more on groceries now. So you want to really fight and explain your case. You want to make sure that you give as much detail as you possibly can to show why you are asking for these taxes to be forgiven, and why you no longer really qualify to pay at the same amount that you once were paying. So for instance, let's just say I want to use the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario is that perhaps they don't forgive the taxes completely. but they might give you the opportunity to pay less, or they may give you the opportunity to start paying at a different time. So, maybe we'll give you 3 months where you don't pay, and then you start with this new payment after a period of time or something of that sort. But whatever it is that you want them to do, present it to them. My tax advisor, she said present it to them, because I said, well, do you think they'll give me my money back from last year? She said present it to them. The only thing they can say is no. She said, but ask for it. If you are if you feel like, it really would help you, because I was saying that those funds would help me a lot, especially with the pay cut that I took. I was anticipating those funds when they took them. And so she was like, state your case, Mary, and you do a really good job with writing letters and things of that sort. And so she listened to my letter, and she said, I think it's really good. And she told me the supporting evidence to put in there, which was like my paycheck stub, and to show like my electric bills and my water bills and things of that sort that are higher, what I'm paying in groceries and things of that sort. So you want to give them as much information as you possibly can to let them know that you are serious about the matter, and that you really would like to see if they would consider giving you the funds back. And again, I am not a tax advisor. I want to make sure I state that more than one time. I am not. I am simply sharing information, and this is free information, but it is information that I have shared with a couple of friends, just in general conversation. And I learned that several friends did not know about it, and some of them were paying back taxes. And so it was good information for them to receive, because they were going to wait until April 15th to file their taxes, when they actually need to go ahead and file now, so that they then have time to file the offering compromise to request for that change. Because for instance, I know one person that I know of, they had a loss of income in their household, and for about 6 months last year. So even though they lost that income, they didn't know to go back and ask the IRS to change or decrease those payments that they had. And so therefore they had been trying to make those same payments off of a half salary in their household. So I'm just sharing that with you guys, because it's information that's free to the public. And if you find that it's helpful, I hope that it will be able to help some of the people that are on my site, or some of my subscribers. And then hopefully you can share this information with others and let them know that the IRS has a program called the Fresh Start Program for people who have been paying taxes, have owed taxes, and would like to see if they could perhaps have those taxes forgiven or decreased to a lesser amount. And again, the one thing that I do know is that you have to be current on your tax filings in order to be able to do this. So I hope that this information is helpful. As always, if you guys like my channel, which I'm glad to have my subscribers here. If you like my channel, I'd love for you to click like. If you enjoy it, I would love for you to share my video with a friend. And if you really enjoy my channel on a regular and consistent basis, I would love for you to subscribe and become one of my general members. All right, guys. Thank you so much for those of you that joined. I do see that there are some comments out here. And again, I don't know how to comment while I'm in the live. I'm going to have to try to figure that out. And I think it has something to do with the app that I'm using, because I think there are two different YouTube apps, and I may not have the latest version, perhaps, but I don't see a feedback that allows me to respond to you all. Yeah, it only allows me to, let's see if this is message. No, it doesn't allow me to respond to you. That's odd. It only allows me to either report you or to make you a moderator, and it allows me to share this video, but I did not see a space where it will allow me to actually communicate with you guys. Because even if I was stationary and I was able to chat with you, I would love to. Let's see. Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by the community guidelines. So I see several people commenting, but I'm not able to comment back to you. So thank you again for joining. Thank you so much for continuing to converse with me. And I will see if I can research how to see the comments, comment back to you guys while I'm in the live. Because as of right now, it doesn't show me anything that I can do with that. But again, if you are interested, you are able to go to www.irs.gov and you are able to go to the area that talks about the Fresh Start program. And the Fresh Start program will allow you to answer a few questions. And then if you qualify for it, then you move into the next phase of completing the documents to do what's called an offer in compromise. All right. Thank you guys again for joining. Have an awesome day. Bye.